Hello and welcome to another video. Now before everything else, if you are looking for something specific, check the description below for the timestamps just so you can navigate easier. Alright, so let's begin. I've seen a lot of assassination rogues guides on the internet, especially on YouTube, but they are not actually very explanatory. They just say do this, do that without explaining why. And most of them are actually wrong, or at least that's what I think. We will see at the ending of this video what you believe. So before we go into the burst with Assassination Rogue, I should probably say that I am doing this on a fairly low item level, 373. I choose this so everybody can do what I do right now, to check by themselves if it is right. Pretty low stats actually, 38% mastery, 90% crit, 9% haste, 8% versatility, 1% leech, and 3% avoidance. Actually very random stuff I have right here for the sake of the video. So first off, I'm gonna begin with the talents that you should use. Now the first talents are actually the most deceiving. I see a lot of rogues playing with elaborate planning instead of master poisoner, and by all means they may be right, but I still prefer master poisoner, and I'll tell you why. Elaborate planning, your finishing moves grants 10% increased damage done for 4 seconds. Now your finishing moves already do a lot of damage. I don't think you need more direct damage done, especially for 4 seconds. By the way, blindside, you should never use this is useless. As I was saying, you already deal a lot of damage with your finishing moves. You don't need 10% increased damage for 4 seconds. That's what I believe, because you will deal a lot of damage in time without the enemy actually realizing it until it is too late. You know, when you deal a lot of critical strikes on him, he'll realize, and he'll be like, hey, wait, let me use defenses. So about Master Poisoner, increases the damage done by a weapon by 30%, or weapon poisons, by 30%, and the non-damaging effects by 20%. I believe this is way better, because you will have your poisons active on your target at all times, and especially since it increases the non-damaging effects by 20%, which, by the way, I've seen most rogues use deadly poison no matter the opposition. I, for one, like to use wound poison against healing targets, and since this increases the non-damaging effects, it also increases the healing reduction by wound poison and the slow by crippling poison. The second talent, I believe Subterfuge is the best, because it causes your Garrote to deal 80% increased damage from stealth, and you can also use it for 3 seconds after breaking stealth, so you can just use it on one target or 2 targets at the same time and have 2 silences plus 2 bleeds on them. As for the third talent, Mark for Death, there's just no contradiction for this. It is simply the best, and you will see why during the burst that I will show later. You can actually choose for yourself here. I like to go for Cheat Death. It provides a lot of survivability, especially when you are very low. Now if you go Leeching Poison, it is true you will heal for a little bit more, but then again, when you are low, you will die. Elusiveness, I don't think this is too effective. I like to use Cheat Death in combination with my Crimson Vial, but I like to use my Crimson Vial before I activate, before actually my cheat death activates. So they will be really frustrated, like, why is he not dying? Because I have my Crimson Vial ticking. When this is done, my cheat death activates and you will be on 5% HP for, I think you can get around 7 to 8 seconds, and they will become really frustrated and not concentrate anymore. You can take advantage of that time. The next talent is internal bleeding. Without a doubt, this is the best one. It will increase your burst significantly. Again, the next one I use Toxic Blade. There's just no opposition since we are using the poison build and not the bleed one. And the last one, again, no opposition. Crimson Tempest is for the bleed one. Hidden Blades, I don't find this really useful. And Poison Bomb is the best because it deals nature damage. And it scales with your mastery, by the way. As for PvP talents, there are two PvP talents that you should always use no matter what. The first one is System Shock, and the next one is Creeping Venom. Always use this as well. A lot of nature damage from both, and nature damage means really high damage on Assassination Rogue, since your mastery scales so well. The third one is up to choice, up to circumstances. I mostly use Smoke Bomb in different situations, not only if they are let's say ranged characters that I'm playing against, but even if, for example, I'm playing against a paladin and a warrior. Whenever I get the warrior low, I use Smoke Bomb so the paladin cannot shield him. Yes, that actually works. Other than Smoke Bomb, I like to use the Sprint one, which suppresses all movement repairing effects for 4 seconds when used, and Mind Numbing Poison against ranged characters if you want some more damage. Not much, but it will do. Now we are getting to the more important part, the Azerite Traits. And here you should really be careful when you choose your Azerite Traits. First of all, I believe that this one, called Nothing Personal, is the best one. You should have this on one of your Azerite items at all times. Why? Well, Vendetta poisons the target, dealing 70k nature damage over 20 seconds and grant you 40 energy for 20 seconds. Now, Vendetta means your burst. Whenever you use Vendetta, it means you plan to deal a lot of damage. So this adds another poison to your burst, which, by the way, this is dealing 70k nature damage over 20 seconds. This is 70k only the poison. If you add Vendetta to it, increase that by 30%. So 70k plus 30%, and let's not forget about the mastery, which also increases your poison and bleeds by, in my case, 38%. So add 70k plus 30% from Vendetta plus 38% from mastery. Yes, that's a lot of damage just from one ability. And another one that you should always have is Twist the Knife, and Venom deals 390 additional damage per combo point, and Venom lasts for 1 second longer. Yeah, this is really good, increases your Venom damage. You can get up to 2k increased damage on your Venom. Another one that you should always have, apart from the Vendetta one, is Shrouded Suffocation. Garrote, cast from stealth, generates 2 additional combo points and deals 900 additional damage. We don't really take this for the damage, however it is a plus, but we are actually using this for the 2 additional combo points, and I will show you in just a bit why that is. Okay, so the other Azerite traits are pretty much up to your choice. Always look to take some nature damage if you can. Other than that, haste, and if you have neither haste nor mastery to take, try to go for some survivability. That always works. Okay, let's see the burst now. Oh wait, I forgot to say something, and this is actually the most important thing on Assassination Rogue, your stats choice. Always go for haste first, no matter what. You should always go for haste and then mastery. Do not go for critical strike. Versatility is meh, maybe 1 or 2 items, but do not go for anything else other than haste and mastery. I see a lot of rogues going for crit and versatility, and indeed their burst is huge, but if you survive that burst, they cannot do anything after that. They use 1 mutilate for 5 seconds, and it's actually really sad, because I tried it. So everything that I'm saying right now I've tried, and it is all based on my experience. If you do not go for haste, you cannot deal more than 1 mutilate per 4 or 5 seconds. And mastery is way better than critical strike in my opinion right now for Assassination Rogue, because with critical strike you can get criticals up to the damage that you will deal if you actually go for mastery. So let's say for example you deal 200 damage with your poison, let's say. If you go for critical strike, that 200 damage will be increased to 400 damage. Now if you go for mastery, that 200 damage will be increased to 400 damage, and if you get a critical on top of that, you will get to 800 damage. So let's continue. Okay, so we are gonna do this on the PvP training one, and before we start, some additional things. My burst consists of Vendetta and my PvP trinket, which increases my primary stat for 1.4k. One more thing, you should always have your poisons on. Now remember what I said, most rogues go for deadly poison against every enemy they actually face. I like to use wound poison. Yeah, it deals lower damage, but it's still nature damage. It scales with mastery, and you reduce the healing received. So there's a lot of value in that one. But for the sake of the video, we are gonna use deadly poison. Okay, now we are ready. The order in which we start the burst now depends whether you have not this one, whether you have this one. If you have Shrouded Suffocation, which adds 2 additional combo points with Garrote, you will start with Garrote, Mutilate, and Rupture. If you don't have that one, you start Garrote, 2 Mutilates, and then Rupture. So let's test it out. We go stealth. Let's see. Garrote, Mutilate, Rupture. Okay, this is the beginning. Now we already have 3 damaging debuffs on our target. After we use this, we go straight to Vendetta. If, by the way, you have a trinket that can be added to your burst, try to make a macro with it. Okay, so once more: Garrote, Mutilate, Rapture, Vendetta, and from now we go Marked for Death to generate 5 combo points instantly, Kidney Shot immediately after Marked for Death, and then we start with Toxic Blade, Mutilate, and Envenom. Okay, so let's test that out. We go Garrote, Mutilate, Rapture, Burst, Marked for Death, Chip Shot, Toxic Blade, and then Venom. And that's pretty much it. Now, you see, right here I have 4 combo points. A lot of people I've seen, they do this mistake. They don't use these 4 combo points. They use one more Mutilate to go for 5 combo points and then use Envenom. No, just use Envenom with 4 combo points. You are wasting 1 combo point if you go for 1 more Mutilate right there. So let's do this again. Sadly, I don't have Vendetta right now, but we will just pretend that we used Vendetta. Let's reset this. So, Garrote, Mutilate into Rapture. Now we pretend to use Vendetta and our burst if we have. Immediately Marked for Death into Kidney Shot, into Toxic Blade, into 2 Mutilates and Envenom. Again, 2 Mutilates and Envenom. And we can see right here we dealt 300k damage without actually using Vendetta. Alright, so that was 300k damage without using Vendetta. Let's see how much damage we can deal if we actually use Vendetta right now together with the burst. So let's go for it. Garrote, Mutilate, Rapture, Burst, Chip Shot, Toxic Blade, and right about here he should be dead. We dealt, well, now my bleeds are dealing damage, but we dealt around 400k damage. That was with Vendetta and with the buff from Vendetta, by the way. Always take this. So this was pretty much the burst with Assassination Rogue. Now, of course, in PvP you cannot always do this. You will most likely have to deal some damage first. If there are, for example, healers, you don't simply start with your burst. If you go for that, always keep your Vanish. If you do not want to use your burst from the beginning, keep your Vanish so you can go for 80% increased damage on Garrote. So we will go something like Garrote, Mutilate, Rapture, and right here Kite. Always Kite with Assassination Rogue, by the way. And now we go Vanish into Garrote, Mutilate, Rapture. We pretend to have used our burst here. Kidney Shot, Toxic Blade, and then we go for our burst. There we go. Okay, so if you have any other questions, be sure to address them in the comments down below. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.